Hello and welcome to episode 65 of the HHH Racing Podcast Pick 5 at the Spa. I'm your host, Howard Kravitz. Thanks for joining me on this wonderful Saturday evening. I hope your Saturday is doing very well. For those of you watching live, we got a live late Del Mar Pick 5 going on that I'm watching over on the right side of the screen as United just won the uh, Eddie Reed. And on the show last night, Dance to the Music, my top choice, won at a very nice price, paid $13 to kick off the start of the late Pick 5 at Del Mar. But we're here to talk about the Saratoga. Usually late pick 5, and I'm going to add one more race. There's a huge carryover tomorrow at Saratoga. So we're actually going to very quickly cover 6 races for tomorrow, Sunday, right here on the HHH Racing Podcast. Make sure you subscribe right there on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. We have over 400 subscribers and growing. Let's keep that going. Make sure you hit that notification bell after you subscribe so you know when new content arises. Follow me on Twitter at HKravitz. You can see it on the name tag or email me hkravitzhorse@gmail.com. You can see it on the scroll on the bottom. Next featured live stream will be Monday night. It's a special live stream. Please join us. We're going to have a benefit for the PDJF. We're going to learn more about the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund. It's a great organization. And also, we're going to hear from former jockeys, including Jerry LaSala, who had many fantastic wins here in the Chicago area. Very well known jockey in the Midwest. So please join us at the regularly scheduled time for our feature broadcast, which is 8 p.m. Again, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday for a very special show, and learn how you can also contribute to the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund and help out those jockeys who have unfortunately been injured, and laid it all on the line for us on the racetrack. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's not waste any time at all. Let's jump right into the races for tomorrow at Saratoga on Sunday. Again, they've got a big carryover. Weather might be an issue tomorrow. Sometimes it is at Saratoga. There's a chance of heavy thunderstorms. Obviously, you're going to have to watch the radar, watch the weather. There are 2 of the 6 races in the late pick 6 that are scheduled for the turf. I'll talk about both of them, whether they'll be on turf or dirt. We're going to have to see as I go ahead and bring up those past performances right now. We already have people joining the show. I see Ralph has already joined the show. Ralph, good evening. Uh, Hopefully we can help you out tonight. We also have H. Do Meaty. Thanks for joining the show. I believe you are overseas in Europe, if I remember correctly. So, wow, thanks for joining the show. We have viewers from across the world joining the show. That's what makes this special. There are my picks for race 5. This is going to kick off in race 5. It's going to start at 3:21 Eastern Standard Time. Again, this is the pick 6. I'm adding an extra race. So race 5 starts the pick 6. If it's on turf, it's 5.5 furlongs, 40,000 claimers, non-winners of 2 lifetime. I thought this is a tough race. If it's on turf, I want to go to the outside and talk about 3 horses. The 6, Summer at the Spa, who is cutting back in distance. I'm not a huge fan of that. But again, I want fresh faces and conditioned races. I've talked about this many times. I don't want horses coming out of this condition. This horse is dropping for Alvarado. Defy Expectations, who's got a lot of speed. That's going to come in handy. There's not a ton of early speed in this race. Just ran very well last time for Brittany Russell. And the 8, Miss Mamba, coming in from Churchill Downs. Had a poor effort, but claimed for Joe Sharp, who, pun intended, is a sharp guy, has Luis Saez for the mount. I think this horse is very interesting. Based on time tonight, I'm not going to go through too many horses. You see my picks. Those are my top 3 if it is on turf. If it's on dirt, this is a very difficult race to know what to do if it's on dirt, because there are not a lot of main track only horses. So this is a complete guess, to be very honest, um, for me, and if it's on dirt. But if it's on dirt, Harold Angel the two, it has a sire that is Exaggerator, who is extremely good on wet dirt. So I'm assuming this horse could handle wet dirt for Michael Maker just based on the breeding alone. Although she's never been on dirt, if she stays in the body of the race, I think she's interesting. And the other horse I would use would be the 10 Lime, who again I think can handle the dirt, has raced on dirt before, is very fast for Wesley Ward, should show a lot of speed. You see a bullet work there at Keeneland on July 13th. So again, it's hard to say what's going to happen if it's on dirt. There are my selections. You can see there my ABCs for turf or dirt. We'll just have to see what happens. Again, we have a bunch of people watching the show live. Thank you very much. If you are watching this uh, as a replay, please make sure you comment down below the video player on anything you believe in this pick six. Of course, if you're watching live, please type in comments on the right side of the screen, which will help further our conversation. Let's go to the next race. The next race, which kicks off the pick five, is a baby race. 2-year-old fillies. They're going 6 furlongs on the dirt. Now, the benefit of the pick six is you can look at the probable will pays going forward in race five and see who looks live in race six. I highly recommend you do that. As a guess, but an educated guess, I like the 2 for Dawn. 5-2. This horse is by Nyquist out of a Sky Mesa mare, Third Dawn. For Brad Cox, is training well, has some nice winners by the Dam. I think this horse is very live. And also the 5, who actually I think would be my top choice, for Chad Brown. This is a horse by Union Rags out of a Candy Ride mare. But when you take a look at the Dam, she was very productive. You see the Dam there, Walk with a Purpose, was very fast, won some sprint races. The first time starters are 2 for 4, and the siblings have won 370,000 in dirt sprinting, including horses like Where Paradise Lay, Whispering Pines. So this horse definitely has breeding on the dam side and on the male side, has been working well enough. Gut feeling this horse is going to be very alive. We'll have to see. I would definitely use some others in this race, like the 1, 3, and 6. Let the board be your guide to some extent, which you'll be able to see the board in the pick six. Again, before you bet the pick five, look in the probable will pays going forward, and you'll know that. Again, let me go ahead and switch my picks. There are my picks for race six. You see them on the screen there. I would go A's would be 2, 5, and my B's would be 1, 3, 6. I would not use any C's. Again, let the board uh, be your guide. H has a comment about Lime from the last race. Yes, owned by Mrs. Hay, who has runners that race in the UK. But Wesley Ward has this horse. I think Lime is going to be very live, especially if it's on dirt. I actually like that horse more on dirt than turf, to be honest with you. But we'll have to see. Jay is joining the show. Jay also likes the 5 in race 6. I agree with you, Jay. I'm assuming the horse is going to take some money. We'll have to see. Let's go ahead to race 7. Race 7, I think you can go very skinny. I am not going to get cute in race 7. Now remember, if you're playing the pick 6, which I don't usually play, however, the carryover is so big that I'm just way too tempted, and I have to play the carryover today. Excuse me, tomorrow, Sunday, because the carryover is just too tempting. It's a dollar increment. So again, you can't use too many horses unless you have a huge pocketbooks. The 7 in race 7, by the way, this is dirt, 6 furlongs. This is a starter allowance race. Horses that have started for 50,000 or less, 3-year-olds and up, filly and mares. The 7 absolutely lays over the field. I'm not saying anything that no one doesn't know. 3 to 5 morning line has last two buyers are 83 and 76. Completely towers over the field. The horse has been working steadily in New York. If she breaks, I think she wins. I'm really not interested in anyone else. I'd use the three very defensively Master of Hope, who again, look how the buyers are 10 points lower, but is working well, is improving, and is a closer for Orlando Noda. If things somehow heat up or something happens with the seven, I'd probably back up with the three. But as that is the only horse I would back up with, you do not have to go very deep in this race. As I'm looking to the right there, there's 1 minute left to the next race at Del Mar as I'm filming this at 9:10 Eastern Standard Time. So if I look over to my right or have to pause, maybe I'll bring the Del Mar race up on the screen. I've got three horses, full disclosure, in the race. I don't know if I want to get too excited or be embarrassed on live TV here, but maybe we'll do that for fun. We'll see. Anyway, let's go to race 8 at Saratoga. And H says Kaylee's sister is 1-2 in Europe right now. So yeah, the seven's going to be a huge favorite. This race is definitely a spread race. The next race, this is race 8. So I go ahead and switch my picks. You can see my turf and dirt picks are right there. Again, it's very much of a guessing game if it's on dirt. But this race has a lot more main track only horses on dirt. So I have a much better idea of who is going to be in the race tomorrow if it switches to dirt. I almost never have 4 A's, but I think this is a very difficult race. This is a mile and eighth inner turf, 3-year-olds and up, optional claiming 80,000, non-winners of 2 other than. I have 4 A's in this race, which again is quite unusual for me. The A's I would have would be value engineering for Chad Brown, consistent, likes the distance, second off the layoff. The 7, 40 under. This is an improving, interesting horse to me. Looks a little bit slower, but I think could win this race for Mike Maker. Second off the layoff. I just think this is a very interesting spot, and you're going to get a price. This is an up and comer. The 9, City Man, who was in the Manhattan last time, had no chance. Ran huge in the Fort Marcy before that. This is a much better spot for Clement and Rosario. And the 12, No Word, for Todd Pletcher. Had a very nice 3-year-old season last year. Coming off the layoff, Pletcher's great off layoffs, working well, can handle the distance, etc. Those would be my main plays. I'm a little bit against the 3, who's going to take some money. Olympico can win the race, but they're in. Chad is putting this horse in for 80,000, and this horse might be regressing. However, Chad did win 2 races today. As I'm peering to my right, I have to watch. We're going to multitask because the race at Del Mar is going off, and I have 3 horses in the race at Del Mar. And I got to be honest, the horses that I thought would be in certain spots are not exactly where they are. I guess we're okay. So I'll just for full disclosure, I've got 4, 6, 7 in race 9 at Del Mar. For those of you who are actually watching, um, perhaps live right now, the 7 is 3 wide. The 4 is in between horses. The 6 is a dead closer. The 2 has the lead, and I didn't think the 2 would get the distance, but I'm always a little concerned when someone gets out to the lead like this. The 4 is in between. The 7 is 3 wide. I know those of you that want to see the Saratoga pick 6, you could probably care less about this race. The 2 is drifting way out. The 4 is now going to be able to come up the inside. Here comes the 6 on the outside. The top of the stretch. The 4 would be my best actual result. He's on the lead on the inside. The 2 is fighting back. Here comes the 6 like a train on the outside, and the 6, who I believe is the favorite, is going to win over the 4 and then the 5. So I am still alive in the pick 5 at Del Mar. Hopefully that'll continue. All right. Again, small apologies, but not really, because I'm horse racing fans, and I got a nice 5-1 to start, so this pick 5 can pay a little bit. Hopefully we can continue that going. Anyway, let's get back to Saratoga. There are my picks. Again, the 3 would be a B. If it's on dirt, Yankee Division is going to be very live in this race, obviously. Very good figs, has a lot of speed. And then there's a lot of MTOs that you're going to see on the outside here. And I think a lot of them are very live. I don't love the 13. The 13 is a B for me. Locally owned, I'm very interested in. Has a big race 2 back, did not run very well last time. I think he'll appreciate the distance. Also, locally owned is 3 for 3 on wet dirt. So keep that in mind if it comes off and it is sloppy. I think that'll be a big advantage for the 14. I'd also defensively use the 16 Winston's Chance, and I'd also use the 6, who knocked me out of the pick 5 on, I believe, opening day, or maybe it was the second day. It was only a little over a week ago. Ran a huge race out of nowhere, coming back very quickly for Jack Sicherson if it's on dirt. I suppose he can win again. I'm not sure I love the quick turnaround. We'll have to see. Anyway, those are my selections for uh, race 8, which again would be the 4th leg of the pick 6 or the 3rd leg of the pick 5. Let's go on to race 9 of the sequence. There are my picks for race 9 as I go ahead and switch screens. This is the one stake race of the sequence. It is the Shuvi. It's grade 3, a mile and 1/8 on the dirt for 4-year-olds and up, fillies and mares, $200,000 in this race. There's only 2 I think you need in this race. And that would be the 4, Dunbar Road, who obviously likes this track, won in the slop in 2019, winning the Grade 1 Alabama right here at Saratoga. Second off a layoff. I've never been a huge fan of this horse, to be very honest with you. But she's honest. She'll love the distance. If it's wet, it'll be no problem. I think there's enough speed to set it up. They've been pointing to this race. Dunbar Road can absolutely win for Chad Brown and Irad. And my top choice, I think, would be Royal Flag, the 7, who's a little bit cheaper. This is the other Chad Brown, owned by the Farishes of Kentucky. Second off the layoff, will be a higher price, I think, than Dunbar Road. Is in raging form, continues to get better. Also is won on the wet dirts. I like Royal Flag quite a bit in this race. It should be mentioned the 5, Antoinette, is going to be scratched tomorrow. Again, the 5 is going to be scratched tomorrow. And because of that, and because there's not a lot of speed in this race, I'm a bit concerned that Crystal Ball, the 6, could wire the field. I don't think this horse is nearly as good as the 4 or the 7, but Louis Saez has been absolutely on a roll lately at Saratoga. She's got a lot of early speed. It would not shock me if Crystal Ball wires the field. I just think the 4 and 7 are classier animals. That's the only horses I would really use. I have the 2 very defensively. Gold Spirit, who is another Chad Brown coming from Chile. I have no idea who this horse is raced against there last year, but I find it interesting that Chad Brown has thrown this horse into the spot and also is working very well. So it'd be interesting to see. I would assume the 3, by the way, is going to go to the lead. That's why I don't love the 6. I don't think Crystal Ball is getting the lead, but might if the 3 doesn't break. Anyway, I want someone a little bit up close to the pace. I think this is mainly just 4-7 for me. There's really not too much to talk about. I think you can go skinny there. Let's take a look at some comments before we move on here. Ralph, who do I have in the last 2 at Del Mar? Great question. I have, and I play an ABC ticket, of course. United was not my. United hurt me. United was a C. I just wasn't a fan of United today, but Flavian Pratt again with an unbelievable ride and ran down Smooth Like Straight. United did not help me too much, to be honest. So that was a C. I have A's left, and I've singled here in this next race the 2 going global, who should win, but you never know. It's a 10-horse race on turf. And then I've got 6, 8, 10. So I am going global the 2 at Del Mar. In the last race, I have 6, 8, 10 in my pick five. Last race is not easy. How am I feeling? I would give myself, I don't know, 40, 50% chance to win, 35 to 40% chance, I would say, to hit this ticket for, it's probably going to pay somewhere between 500 and 1,000, would be my guess. I don't know. We'll have to see. You never know what it might pay. But anyway, Ralph also likes, right, the 5 is scratch. We already know that. Jay wants to know about Jarkata today at Saratoga. So what happened, Jay? I'll be very brief because this show is focused on the pick six tomorrow. But what happened with Jarkata is Jakarta initially was accidentally scratched. I don't know the huge backstory. They talked about it on the Fox network today, but somehow the stewards or someone accidentally scratched Jakarta. I'm assuming there was a communication issue, but the connections wanted to run. So they initially scratched the horse for some reason, although I don't think the connections wanted to scratch. And then they realized the connections wanted to run and they put her back in, and I think she was announced as a scratch initially. So that's why she ran for purse money only. If anyone has more details about that, let me know. Nick Bertucci. Nick, thanks for joining the show. I'm not too familiar with you or seeing your name in the chat. Thank you, Nick, for joining the show. Please don't be a stranger. Sorry, Nick, about United. They walked on the lead, and that hurt my closer. I thought Count Again, who was my top choice actually, ran a big race. It was another paceless race. The ride by Flavian Pratt, by the way, in United, coming in between horses and asking like early on the turn, I thought was brilliant. And United didn't really have to show a big turn of foot because they were going slow. I really think the slow pace helped United a lot today. But listen, give him credit and Mandela for getting this horse ready after a clunker last time. Sorry about that, Nick. Um, Okay, I think that's all we need to talk about. Let's go on to the last race of the Pick Six tomorrow. Again, thank you very much for joining the HHH Racing podcast. Again, we've been on fire with our picks. By the way, those of you watching the race day blog today was outstanding, especially at Woodbine. And if they hadn't scratched off the turf, it's a shame. Um, we would have hit the pick five, but they refunded the pick five Woodbine today, so you couldn't actually play it. But two of my three spot plays won today. Or actually, one of them won. The other one finished a very good third at 11-1. So if you are not aware of my race day blog, let me go ahead and pull that up as well, if I may. There is the website. Also, it's that Patreon website. If you follow me on Twitter, I actually put it out on Twitter today also. So if you follow me on Twitter, if you're not a member of our race day blog family, it's very inexpensive. I give detailed ABC tickets of several different pick fives throughout the country. I also give price plays and spot plays. Listen, I think it's very profitable. It's very inexpensive. You get one every Saturday. I send out a race day blog right to your email. I think it's well worth it. Please join the race day blog family by signing on there to Patreon. Um, Michael wants to know, how do I play the spot plays? So the spot plays or the price plays on my blog, Michael, it really depends on what kind of price I'm getting. I usually try to find horses that are morning line bigger than 5-1. So I usually try to find morning lines, 6-1 or higher. What I like to do with spot plays, or price plays, I should say, is I like to key them in every spot in a trifecta, Michael. It's been very effective for me. So, for example, let's say the six horse I like at a price. I'll play a trifecta six with a bunch of horses with a bunch of horses. Then I'll play my top other choices with the six in second with a bunch of horses. Then I'll play my top choices other than the six in first again with a bunch of horses in second, and then key the six in third. So I key the six in each spot with different increments. It's not as expensive as you think because you're only putting the six horse in this example, um, in one spot only. So actually, it's a pretty cheap way of doing it. I like to use my spot plays mainly in trifectas, Michael, and I also use my spot plays usually as A's, certainly at the least B horses in an ABC ticket. M Char, we haven't heard from you in a while. Thank you for joining the show. I had dinner with him, I believe, if that's the person I recall. I think it's Mark. I think that is Mark. Mark, thanks for joining the show. Where have you been, Mark? You've been a stranger. I actually got together with Mark, who lives only about half an hour away from me. We had a nice dinner, talked horse racing a few months ago. Mark, great to hear from you. Thanks for joining the show tonight. Let's get into the last race of the pick six. I got to watch the end of the pick five at Del Mar. The last race, as I go ahead and switch the screen there, and I go ahead and get my picks up for race 10. There are my picks for race 10. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the payout leg of the pick six or pick five. They're going a mile and eighth on the dirt, $20,000 claimers, 3-year-olds and up. I have three horses I like most in this race. I would use three horses. The 2, Easy Shot. This is a claim for the Canamarcy barn. I think the horse is going to improve off this. Is only 3 for 22, but likes the distance, and I think will improve off of the claim. So I'm expecting a forward move. You can see this horse has back numbers last year of 83, 84, 89. So obviously knows how to run fast, just has to remember how to do it. And was 3 or 4 wide last time against one of the other horses I like in this race. I'd also use the 5, Legit, who's exactly that. This is a claim for George Weaver. Again, likes the 2 turns, has got back class, has been working steadily, has a big shot, and last time bobbled at the break and did not get a great start. And then we have the number 8, Mubar Maj, I believe, for Todd Pletcher. Beat those two horses I just mentioned last time. However, got an absolute dream trip in winning. This horse can show speed, which I like. I think this horse is way too low on the morning line. 8 to 5, I think, is too low. However, if I absolutely had to use a single, I suppose it would be this one because there's not a ton of really speed in this race. But I'm not sure this horse is that good. But those would be my main horses. The 3 horse is interesting. Villainous has a ton of back numbers. I mean, look at this 91, 89, 84. I don't know what happened last time. Last time Villainous was absolutely awful. And now Linda Rice goes away from Jose Ortiz and puts Eric Cancel. Eric Cancel is definitely a capable rider. I'm worried about the last race, the huge drop from 50 to 20, and the jockey switch. Villainous I'd use if I can afford it, but I have a feeling this horse is going backwards, in my opinion. I'd mainly go 258 in this race. Let's take a look at some comments very quickly here. Let's see. Yes, Mark just said he's been working a lot. And I know Mark's not a huge fan of Javier Castellano. Um, I could be wrong. I think Giant Velasquez also has not won yet. So listen, this is a very tough meet, guys and ladies. Very tough meet. Although Javier was struggling really at Belmont too, so we'll have to see. Let's go ahead and get to. I need to check out at Del Mar. I think we got plenty of time there. Yeah, we got 10 minutes. We're all good. Let's go ahead and look at my ABC ticket now. Excuse me, my caveman ticket. As everyone knows out there, I am an ABC ticket maker player. But again, if I'm playing caveman ticket, here would be my caveman ticket. Now, I need to explain this so it's not confusing. What you see in parentheses would be the dirt horses I would use if it's on dirt. Let me repeat that one more time. These parentheses, the 110 here, and these numbers here in parentheses, those would be the numbers I would use if the race was on dirt. And then you see here, again, the price is different. So the numbers not in parentheses would be my ABC, excuse me, would be my caveman ticket tomorrow for the pick six. If they were on turf, it costs 180 bucks. Yes, that's a lot of money for some people, but ladies and gentlemen, this is a dollar pick six with a over $200,000 carryover. It's hard to hit dollar pick sixes going cheap. If your budget and pocketbook doesn't allow it, don't play the pick six. Play the pick five or the pick four, or just try to go for it with a smaller pick six ticket. You can sort of do that too. My dirt ticket, which again would be 110, 25, 7, 26, blah, 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 would cost $120. Again, that'd be a caveman ticket. I'm probably, full disclosure, I'm not saying this to brag at all. I'm not Mr. Moneybags. I don't put together $1,000 tickets. I'm going to be spending more than 180 on my ABC ticket. I'll spend a few hundred on the ABC Pick Six ticket tomorrow. But again, that's probably my only play the entire day. So for those of you who had budget $300-400 for a certain day, perhaps, and again, that might be a lot of money for some of you. Not throwing shame towards anyone, but instead of playing, a few bucks here, a few bucks there, play some trifectas, but no, not for me. I'm just going to be trying to crush that dollar pick six bet tomorrow, and that's all I'm going to be doing with an ABC ticket. And you see my ABC selections as I've shown you throughout the show. Let's see if we can end with some quick questions or comments. Yes, Mark agrees using the 7. Listen, to me, it's a free square. You can only do what the track is giving you, Mark, and everyone else. If you want to use other horses in that race, feel free. I'm not going to do it. I mean, I'll turn it into a pick 5. That's fine. I think most people are going to do that. Again, I'm going to have 1 or 2 other horses as C's just in case as extreme backups. But again, there's no reason to get cute there. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up the show for tonight. Good luck tomorrow in that $1 pick 6 big carry at Saratoga on Sunday, or the pick 5 or pick 4, whatever you're going to play in the later races. And then again, please join me for a special show Monday night to benefit the PDJF. We're going to talk about the organization. We're going to have some former jockeys, hopefully some current jockeys also. You can ask a lot of questions. It's going to be a fantastic broadcast. Again, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, right here on the HHH Racing Podcast. This has been Howard Kravitz. This has been episode, I got to look it up, 65 we're up to. Have a great rest of the weekend and good luck tomorrow, Sunday, at Saratoga. Take care, everyone. Good night.